Hi, this is Somerville Producers Group, and this is Dead Air Live. I'd like to welcome you tonight to a very special evening with Songwriters Circle. It's called Community and Creativity. And when we first started this, I called Mark Hastings, who you'll meet tonight, and I'd like to go around the circle that we have tonight, which will be Carolyn Waters, Mark Hastings, Pat Keneally, Rick Cooper. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Part of the reason, thank you. Part of the reason that I started this was I am a singer myself, and I realize how necessary it is to stay connected with the community and to share from my own self and stay connected with myself. And so there is no better way to do that through the community than to songwrite and perform your own songs. So without further chatter, I'd like to introduce our first guest that's going to be singing, and his name is Mark Hastings.
Well, thank you, Susan. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways songwriters can get their inspiration, and one of my inspirations was the songwriter Carole King, who I love to this day. And Carole, if you ever hear this, I love you, and I love your music. And she wrote a song that you might be familiar with called Chicken Soup. And I always thought that was just a fun little tune, and I thought maybe I could write a tune like that myself. So I thought about bear soup. And I wrote this tune, and I played it for a bunch of friends who were also songwriters. And see, I thought I had written a happy little children's song with a silly little melody, and I was informed that under no certain circumstances was that a children's melody. So the song changed, and instead of being the happy little, silly little children's song with a happy melody, it became a bitter, sarcastic, environmental protest song with a happy little melody. And it's called Bear Soup. Well, some like to dine on more exotic fare. They'll eat any animal, they just don't care. How about a soup made of condors and rice, or some eagle pot pie? Very nice. Some think that whale is the tastiest fish, but a bowl of bear soup, it's what I wish. Bear soup, bear soup, give me a mighty bowl of that big bear soup. Bear soup, bear soup, I gotta get a bowl of that big bear soup. Another species vanishes, what's the fuss? As long as it's them and it ain't us. Now you can get your bear either black or brown. If you find a good recipe, jot it down. Some will pull a Kodiak out of his lair, although I likes my soup from the grizzly bear. And if you like polar bear, you best beware. No matter how you cook it, it just gets more rare. Bear soup, bear soup, you get a mighty bowl of that big bear soup. Bear soup, bear soup, I gotta get a bowl of that big bear soup. Another species vanishes, what's the fuss? As long as it's them and it ain't us. First you get yourself a stove and a great big pot, then you turn up the heat, get it real hot. Drop in an onion and a carrot or two, toss in your bear and let it stew. Now when the blizzard hits, you won't have to stew. Just serve yourself a bowl of that big bear soup. Now when the snow gets deep and those cold winds howl, you can't eat your stuff and still feel your stomach growl. When you're cold and hungry and your soup tastes fine, I just like my soup a bit more earth-sign. Oh, but bear soup, give me a mighty bowl of that big bear soup. Bear soup, bear soup. I gotta get a bowl of that big bear soup. Another species vanishes, what's the fuss? As long as it's them and it ain't us. But here's something to think about that's not too complex. When they're all gone, then we are next.
Oh, God. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Mark. What a...
It was a wonderful accompaniment.
Yes, yeah, didn't expect that. Thank you so much, thank you. Now you have something interesting. You had talked to me a little bit about the creative process. And this next song, you wanted to share part of your, how you write a song.
Sure, I can do
So go ahead.
that. Okay. Well, with me, you know, different people start in different ways. Some people start with a melody, some people start with a poem or a lyric or something. And for me, it just seems to start with a phrase. And one day I was just minding my own business, not doing anything in particular, and this phrase popped into my head, "Open my eyes." And I thought, well, you know, we live in a confusing world. There's a lot of conflicting truths that are being bandied about out there. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have your eyes opened up and you could see what was really going on out there? So I started out with the phrase, "Open my eyes." And I had to go somewhere with that, and you know, so I can see the truth. Yeah, it just doesn't quite resonate with me. But you know, you think of when you open your eyes, you want to see the light. So I came up with, "Open my eyes so I might see the light surround me." Then I needed another line for the seems like it's going to be the chorus. So what else can we do? How about open my ears so I can hear the truth? I like to leave a little more room for the listener. So I came up with, "Open my ears so I might hear the sound." So now I've got this open me thing going. Open my sense of smell or touch, that ain't gonna work. So open my mind. Open my mind so I can see the truth, but not every truth matters. I mean, for example, I don't need to know whether Coop had a cappuccino or a latte for breakfast this morning. I don't really need to know that, although you don't look like the latte type, Coop.
Probably not.
So, open my mind that I might know the truth that matters. And I put it all together, added a few verses, and it came out something like this. I've been down the long and winding road, pitfalls at every turn, but I won't get weary as long as my heart is light. At times I feel I could take flight. I've been fooled many a time or two, veils of illusion to see through, but through it all, there's one thing that kept me going. It was knowing I could count on you. Open my eyes that I might see the light surround me. Open my ears I might hear the sound. Open my mind that I might know the truth that matters. Open, open, open my heart.
Beautiful, beautiful, Mark. Thank you. Thank you so much. Carolyn Waters is from Philadelphia originally, and she moved here 20 years ago. And so, without further introduction, I would like her to speak a little bit about her songs that she's about to sing. Carolyn?
Thank you. So we have two songs this evening. The first one, Mark is going to accompany me on. Thank you very much. And it's called If I Went Away. And it sort of was one of these things that was a gift from the song goddesses, I would call it. I was 3 days away from going to Nashville to put some tracks on my existing songs for my latest CD. And I decided that I wanted to write a couple of more songs. So one day late at night, about 3 days before I was scheduled to go to Nashville, we were taking a break. And me and my songwriting partner at times, Bo Wiener, we were sitting in his living room. And he, as these things usually start between us, he says, I have a rift going in my head and I can't get rid of it. And so he started to play the riff and the lyrics started to come. And so we wrote this particular song in a half hour, and I recorded it on my iPhone, which is usually my method of capturing these moments. And 3 days later, off we went to Nashville, where I played it for the producer and a couple of folks in the studio, not sure if they were going to include it in the CD. And they heard it and they said, yeah, we're going to have to do this one. So
now are you going to sing this, are you going to sing this by yourself? Or are you going to sing this with Mark?
I'm going to sing this with Mark's beautiful piano accompaniment behind me.
Thank you.
So,
If I Went Away.
If I Went Away.
That song is so sad.
No, it depends. I think it's one of these 40 songs where it's very mysterious. And you have the woman, oh, if I went away, darling. So let's think of it that way.
Okay. Ready?
If I went away today, if I went away today, would the moon lose its glow? Would the stars fall below? The sun as it shines in the sky, in the sky. If I went away today, if I went away today, would your eye shed a tear? Would your breath disappear, float away like the clouds in went away today. If I went away today, would you fall to your knees with your heart on your sleeve? Would you wish your tomorrows away, all away? If I went away today.
Let me just soak that in.
Okay, I'm done.
Wow. That is phenomenal. And that came to you in a half an hour.
That came to me in a half hour. You know, the lyrics muse, the musical muse sometimes visits me at just the right moment.
And it pours out.
I'm
It
very
seems
thankful
like
for
the best songs come in at half an hour. And
Yeah.
I get one song that took me 30 years to write. It's lousy.
when it's time to come out, it comes out. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is so, thank you so much.
thank you.
Absolutely opened my heart. Thank you. So I can't wait to hear what's next for you, Carolyn.
Thank you. Well, this next song is called Over Troubled Skies. And a couple of years ago when the movie The Help was out, I went to see that movie. And there's this scene where the maid is talking to the little girl in her charge. And every morning they go through the same mantra. And you are smart, you are kind, and you're important. And she had this little girl say this every day. You are smart, you are kind, and you are important. And she was telling this to the little girl, and the little girl was saying it to herself, soaking it in, because she needed that. She was growing up in a very tough situation, and she needed to know that she mattered. And at the moment I said, what a great message to send out there in the world. And so I made a mental note that I wanted to do something with that, write a song with that eventually. So a couple of months later, I'm sitting and the music muse visit me, and I started to write this song. And while I was sort of doodling and writing down lyrics and verses, I just happened to have the TV on to the news. And a story came across the news that another teen had committed suicide due to bullying. And in that moment, the song changed. It became something else. It became something else entirely. And it became a song for all those people out there who are experiencing something like this, to let them know that there's hope out there. And so that's how the song started, and that's how the song came to be what it is. And it's called Over Troubled Skies.
Would you sing it for us?
I absolutely will. Thank you. Everywhere you look, people put you down, try to take your dreams, grind them in the ground. When you want to scream, 'cause the days are cold, you feel you're losing your grip, you've lost your hold. You find the word friend is just a ploy for those who are small, who want to destroy. You open your heart, lay it on the line, and it's torn to pieces. No reason, no rhyme. Well, remember, just remember, you are kind and you are wise, with a heart that's bigger than the open skies. People take from you, try to make you small, small, small. But don't you ever forget that you can fly, fly, fly over troubled skies. You may find you differ in this big world. No one to stand beside as the hope unfurls. All you feel is emptiness and gray, gray skies. You want to back away and close your eyes, but I'll pick you up, I'll pick you up, 'cause you are kind and you are wise, with a heart that's bigger than the open skies. People take from you, try to make you small, 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 but I'll help you to fly. I'll help you to fly, fly, fly. I'll help you to fly, fly, fly. I'll help you to fly, fly, fly over troubled skies.
Another deep breath. Oh my, oh my. Something deep there, Carolyn, something very deep.
It's a message that should be out there. Let
Yeah.
kids know there's hope.
Yeah,
So,
we need that kind of message, love, thank you, and hope. I wanted to get to our next, I could stay there all night, believe me. I could listen to Mark and Carolyn all night in their own shows. But I wanted to get to some special people that are a duo. They could be called inseparable. They're looking at me kind of weird. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's Pat Keneally.
Very good. Very good. Keneally, yes.
Right. Is that Italian?
No.
Northern Italian, very, very northern Italian.
Right,
The island, yes.
The island.
The other island, right?
Aye.
Right.
And I have Rick Cooper here. And Rick is part of this duo called Cooper and Keneally.
That's right.
Right. And they are part of this songwriter group that you're seeing on the stage. And Rick, why don't you tell us just a little bit about that?
We really all met through a really vibrant open mic community that's active around here, from Lexington out to Groton and just all around the greater Boston area. Ellen Schmidt, whom we call the mother of the godmother of folk music, started running these open mics, and there's some other folks around, John Ferrulo out in Westford and Gail Picard out in Groton, and they run these open mics, and we all kind of hooked up there. And plus we go to a music camp up on the shores of Lake Winnipesaukee, the Summer Acoustic Music Week, and about 100 people go up there every summer, and they bring in professional instructors from all over the country and the world, and we just have a great time making music for a week up there.
Summer camp for grown-ups.
It is.
So how long have you been around? How long have you been writing, songwriting?
Well,
Right.
let's see. I started playing guitar in 1959. I think I wrote my first one in 1962. And Cooper and Keneally are 6 years old, coming up pretty soon, another week or
Oh,
so.
so tell me
it'll
about
be our
that.
6th anniversary. Well, actually, that's kind of funny. The first time I went out to an open mic, my wife kept trying to chase me out of the house. She said, go up there and play. So finally I went up to John Ferrulo's open mic in Westford and played up there. And that night, Patty Keneally was there. And as soon as she sang, it was like, oh my God, I want to sing with this girl. But here I'm the new kid. It's like I thought she would feel it was kind of creepy if I came up to her and said that. So I kind of laid back and went to open mics for about 6 months. And then finally we got together and started playing together. So she asked me to back her up one night at the old Groton Inn up in Groton before it burned down. Actually, we were the last feature there before the
Right.
place burned down. I hope we didn't have anything to do with that. And we've been playing together ever since. We've been having a great time.
Yeah.
Well, I felt the same way when I first saw him play.
Ah,
Truth be told.
Isn't that sweet?
so without, further ado, what was the process of the first song you're going to share with us tonight?
Well, we're going to play one of Rick's songs, and we're going to start with one of my tunes. And my folks were young, newly married during World War II, and as much as my father never spoke about the war, my mother often told stories about what it was like on the home front. And I was always very moved by the experiences of my father being away for so many years. And at that time, they had such little contact, maybe a letter every few months. Many months would pass before they would see each other. And during that time, it was very popular to hang banners in windows with, they would have a blue star for every service, family member that was in the service with a red border, and they would display that. And the name of the song is Hang a Blue Star on the Window. So, sing it for you.
Thanks.
It was her laugh, the way she walked, that caught his eye and stole his heart. His kind and gentle manner endeared him from the start. The 20 miles from Charlestown, his old Ford could barely make. They'd picnic down by Willard Brook, go dancing at the lake. A second floor apartment and a gray two-family house. Some tomatoes in the backyard, on the sleeping porch a couch. Working for the railroad, washing cars for steady pay. A call to active duty and a baby on the way.
Hang a blue star in the window. Say a prayer, he'll be coming home. Tend the garden early in the morning. Read his letter
transport Harry Lee, he stowed his gear and was shipped out. Brief visits into Norfolk, maybe once or twice a year. Too few, but just enough to keep away a young son's fear. Hang a blue star in the window, say a prayer, he'll be coming home. Tend the garden early in the morning, read his letters in the evening when alone. Memories still linger with that young son, now a man. Neighbors spilling from their homes, grabbing pots and pans to bang in joyous revelry. The war was finally won. At last the troops were coming home, a father to his son. 7 brothers in the Navy all returned to family. Gathered in the kitchen, bell bottoms pressed so carefully, and standing straight and small amidst those uncles dressed alike. Not sure it was his father's hand he took to hold on tight. Hang a blue star in the window, say a prayer, they'll all be coming home. Tend the garden early in the morning, read his letters in the evening when alone.
That's very current.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
thank you. Yes.
Yeah. And so the inspiration of that came out of what's going on right in front of us, in front of our eyes.
Well, the inspiration really was these stories. I always found it so terribly sad that when my father returned home from the war, he had 7 brothers, and my older brother couldn't tell him from all of the uncles, because he hadn't hardly seen them, but maybe a handful of times, the first 4 or 5 years of his life.
Oh, gosh. I wanted to ask you about the process, and your picking is beautiful.
Thanks.
It's really, really something. Thank you. I wanted to ask you about a little bit about the process of how you put this together. It seems that you have a chorus, and then the words. How did the words come to you?
Well, the words were really thinking and remembering stories and visualizing, bringing the images that I had within me out and forward to put into the song. And then the melody came. I wanted the melody to have a feeling reflecting that time period. So that's how I developed the melody. Songwriting, I'm new to songwriting. I've been maybe writing 6 or 7 years, and they're all different. Some, like Carolyn mentioned, they whoop, the muse drops them and there they are. Sometimes they come, but they're not done. And others, you have a kernel of an idea that takes a lot of work to come to fruition.
Thank you.
And sometimes it's the words first, sometimes it might be a melody, a line to go on. So it's different. Each song has been different.
It's really amazing to me how everybody sitting here has a unique style, a unique way of placing the words.
Isn't it? It's great. It's just wonderful.
It's the way human beings ought to be able to express themselves in a really healthy way. What is your next song?
From the sublime to the next song. Yeah, Patty writes the sublime sensitive stuff, and I don't. This one actually, this goes way back to 1962. And I was 15, junior in high school. My girlfriend and I broke up, which she capped off by throwing my high school ring at me, and it bounced off my guitar and left a little nick in it. It was quite heartbreaking. I still feel bad about the guitar. You broke my heart, you made me cry. You were untrue, you told a lie. Well, I believed you because I loved you. You made me cry. You came to me,
You came to me.
you said you loved me,
said you loved me
and I believed you like a fool.
like a fool.
You were just having fun, I'm not the only one. You made me cry. You said you loved me, yeah, you swore you'd be true. Well, I was such a fool. And now you left me all alone and blue. Oh, baby, how can you be so cruel?
So cruel.
You broke my heart,
You broke my heart.
made me cry.
Made me cry.
You were untrue,
untrue.
you told a lie.
You told a lie.
Well, I believed you because I loved you. You made me cry. You said you loved me, yeah, you swore you'd be true. Well, I was such a fool. And now you left me all alone and blue. Well, darling, how could you be so cruel?
So cruel.
You broke my heart,
You broke my heart.
you made me cry.
You made me cry.
You were untrue,
You were untrue.
you told a lie.
You told a lie.
Well, I believed you because I loved you. You made me cry. You said you loved me, yeah, you swore you'd be true. Well, I was such a fool. And now you left me all alone and blue. Well, darling, how can you be so cruel?
So cruel.
You broke my heart,
You broke my heart.
You made me cry.
Made me cry.
you were untrue.
You were untrue.
You told a
You
lie.
told a lie.
Well, I believed you because I loved you. You made me cry.
Oh, I want you to resolve that. You gonna leave it hanging?
Like all the great songs from 1962, it's got to fade.
Oh
It's
my
gotta fade.
God! Oh, I can't go to sleep tonight if you don't resolve
Well,
that.
good.
Yeah,
for more.
It's a good song. Absolutely.
yeah. So I find that we have here a group of a community.
Absolutely.
And tell me a little bit about that songwriting community that you have. Is it in Western Mass or?
I don't know. It depends on where you draw the lines. It's all over. I mean, Coop was mentioning Sam W., the Summer Acoustic Music Week. I found out about Sam W. through the open mic and running into people that had been there, and I went there myself, and it's an amazing experience. I met Carolyn there in a songwriting class.
And where is this again?
It's hosted by WUMB out here in Boston, and they hold it up on the northern shores of Lake Winnipesaukee at the Geneva Point Center up there. They do it twice a year, two separate weeks
was
in the
that
summer.
what Rick was talking about?
Yes, and they'll have songwriting classes, they'll have guitar picking classes, they'll have vocal. There's a whole mishmash of things, and a lot of guitar players. And I come up with my keyboard, but there's still so much even for myself to do up there in learning things.
And it's from people who are learning to first play an instrument to very proficient, very well-versed, instrument players or vocalists. There's something for everybody.
Absolutely.
It's even beyond sort of like the guitar playing. It's a place where when I first attended about 12 years ago, I had never stood on a stage publicly and sang. I hadn't written a song. I hadn't done a lot of things. And there, they sort of, nurtured me and brought me along. I've met some amazing people who, through their support, let me try different things. To now I'm writing songs and I'm singing and I'm doing.
You sure are.
Carolyn, what kind of support did they give you?
Oh, it depended on what you needed. So when I went there, I had never, for various reasons, even thought about standing on a stage and singing publicly. But luckily, I met an amazing person, Lorraine Lee Hammond, and I took a voice lesson with her outside of Sam W. And she said to me, "I have some place you need to come." And I came because, Lorraine is always right about these things. And I came, and, the first couple of years was just getting on stage and sort of opening my mouth and showing that I had a voice. And after that, because, no, you can't sing. After that, it's no. I could never write a song. And met some amazing Bob Franke, Cliff Everhart, the Kennedys, Kate Campbell. I can never forget Kate. I mean, just these amazing people, who, for me, in my case personally, who stood by me and helped me make those next steps. And, even all these years later, Kate produced my last CD, and, she walked me through that whole process, and she's still making me stronger, and she's still a great mentor. So Sam W., for all you folks out there.
And it's fun.
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of sleep.
No, sleep
come
is
home
kind of optional. But the one thing I find that is very, very pervasive through not only Sam W., but even the open mic scene, is how welcoming they are to newcomers in any style. We have one guy that came out to stand-up comedy. We've had people come out with weird instruments I've never seen before. We've had rank beginners who don't know what to do. Give you an idea of the support. There was one year at Sam W., this young woman got up on stage and she started singing the song. And you could tell she was nervous. You can sense it. It's just radiating from the stage. And she got through the first verse and lost the second. And the entire place joined in and started singing with her. And we literally picked her up and carried her through the song. And it was just beautiful. And we gave her the biggest round of applause. About 100 people plus instructors just really giving her a lot of the applause. Just to have the guts to get up there and do this. It's just so much love.
And a wonderful thing about Sam W. is like everybody who has attended has a story like that, has a moment.
Yeah.
Everybody has a moment. So it's a wonderful place.
And it's great when you go back year after year and you see the same people and they've improved so much. There's really there's a lot of growth year to year because people, the open mics give us an audience, and so it's worth working on your material because you have a place to go out and publish, and you have an appreciative audience who gives you good feedback. So you do that all year, and then you go back up to camp, and it's great to see how much people have grown in a year.
Yeah, well, I am so pleased to be part of this tonight because we have all different kinds of music happening in America. We have the airbrushed, formulaic kind of music that comes out, but we also have this songwriting that comes from the heart, that is authentic. And what you're talking about at Sam W. is something that I've known as a singer. Sometimes the audience is for you to express and to try things out. And sometimes you're so good that you shine and the audience doesn't even know you exist. And then sometimes you meet together and this real thing happens, and you don't even know where you are on this planet, and the music starts transcending everything. So I think we're ready. This is Somerville Producers Group. My name is Susan Allen. I'm the host tonight. This is a songwriter circle, and we have enjoyed all these wonderful people, and we're going to close it tonight with a song from the Byrds. Thank you.
I think this is a sing-along for everybody.
Oh,
at home.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, you people at home sing along, too. Clouds so swift, the rain won't lift. Get your mind off of winter time. Gate won't close, the railings froze. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh, we ride behind. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Ooh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. I don't care how many letters they send. Morning came and the morning went. Pick up your money and pack up your tent. We ain't going nowhere. Ooh, we ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my ride's gonna come. Whoa, whoa, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailgates and substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh, we ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Ooh, oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Soldiers applied with sleep. We'll climb that mountain no matter how steep, and we still ain't going nowhere. Ooh, we ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Ooh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Clouds so swift, the rain won't lift. Gate won't close, the railings froze. Get your mind off of winter time. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh, we ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Ooh, oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Come on now. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Ooh, oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Buy me a flute and a gun that shoots, tailgates and substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots. You ain't going nowhere.
Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we're gonna fly down in the easy chair.
Yeah, give us another one. Do you have another
We
one?
have time for another one?
Yeah. Yeah.
What shall we do? Want to just do a little jamming and
Yeah.
see?
Yeah. Some bluesy.
Something bluesy.
I'm sorry,
Your cover?
my cover's off.
Take the cover off.
Oh, take the cover
Take
off.
the
Oh,
cover
okay.
off. There you go.
Sorry. What, do you want to do the one we were doing a little bit before, the C minor, F minor,
Sure,
G?
Sure.
I get a little fancy at the beginning.